Making Dylan heat drum. Oh, wow. We're rolling. Guys, welcome back to another episode of Mike and Dylan Hate Drama, where, honestly, me and Dylan argue now. That's going to be our new thing going forward. We're just going to get into passionate debates, and then everybody in the comment section everywhere is just going to be like, oh, are you guys going to get a divorce?
I like that somebody said they'd rather watch us give each other rim jobs and then forgive each other instead of
Listen, that's just trying to push us to our new OF content. Yeah. Guys, we did look, I watched the podcast back from the passionate debate that we had, except for like I wasn't really passionate about the subject anymore, and I was just like and the crazy part too is like every time you say something, like my brain has to reconfigure, and I'm just sitting there like trying to process things, which adds the ADHD into MADHD. I mean, it's two guys debating over a subject while struggling to stay on the subject. So I hope someone came away with, I don't know, some kind of fucking...
I think they probably enjoyed it as entertainment value, not necessarily that they're like, oh yeah, no, they're good points, guys, good points. Like, it's more so just like, that was a fun little debate to watch.
Do people, because a lot of people were like, worried about us arguing, and I'm just like, don't friends do that?
If we could get the behind the scenes footage of us actually like having a real argument, and then like literally 5 minutes later, it's like, yeah, no, I was kind of an asshole there. Yeah,
oh yeah, we make up extremely quickly, which adds to the rim job. Maybe we're soulmates, bro, because me and my wife never do that. When she's mad, she stays pretty mad, and I like try to, I don't know what it is when a woman gets mad where I'm just like, now I want to be funny, and they're just like, nah, it's not hitting.
No,
my favorite thing is just be like, well, why don't you just calm down? Which,
yeah, no, that works every time.
Opposite effect. Anybody that has a wife knows that it is opposite effect. So look, guys, I think this week there's going to be a third episode, just because we're just look, in the beginning we could not get people to submit. Now people are they're submitting everything.
Well, in there's one that's a 5-pager, and there's one that's like a 3.5-pager.
I think
pages. It's like 4 1/4 or something like that. But yeah, it went onto the 5th page.
Jesus.
But I just wanted to say I brought this for Mike because he's in the hoodie and it's like 100 degrees outside, and so my daughter has this cool little misty fan. Yeah, so we just.
The funny thing about it too is when we go outside, I'll be like, "Whoa, what the fuck am I doing?" I'll be taking it off outside in the parking lot because it gets really hot. So guys, we like to give advice to people. That's what MADHD is about. It's about helping everybody out with the daily struggles in life. And when you have two, what's a good word for us? Just phenoms, okay? Two absolute titans of sex appeal and...
Yeah, look at those. Look at the little sideburns that he looks showing out right now.
I just got a haircut. We got to take some thumbnails. Got to start taking this seriously. Make a trailer for MADHD and Two Daddies Judging Baddies, so we can really start getting some of that hot take pie.
But we're pretty
and smosh.
We're good looking fellas, so
we are. And look, things are going to get heated sometimes, and we're not going to hide that from y'all because fuck that shit. That then takes work. If we're like, oh man, then we just argued. We should cut that out. This ain't fake though. I mean, it's two guys who are friends. They have a podcast. Like we go through friend shit. We joke with each other. We fucking argue, and I will cut him off every time he tries to speak.
And I would have to say that we do happen to have pretty strong opinions. I don't know about you, but I think I'm kind of an opinionated fella right here. And
we need to start a segment that's like current events, because we had the whole Iran-Israel thing, and then they went to a ceasefire, and then shortest ceasefire ever, they just started like punching each other again. So now America's just like, stop it.
Yeah, when I turned off the news in 2016, I haven't really turned it back on. So I know things are going on. I hear it through. It
just kind of like repeats in a cycle. It's just like, two people are arguing, America steps in, they stop, and then two other people start arguing, America steps in, they stop. I don't know. We need something big to happen. I like when
let's not ask for that.
Shocking, not like terrible things, just like, different stuff. Maybe like a stimulus. I
still-
would love to be stimulated right now.
Yeah.
God,
I was thinking the aliens coming would be a good.
No, that's not even front page news anymore. We're just like, up aliens, and then everybody's just like, well, we don't give a fuck. Them aliens gonna buy me some groceries? No, fuck you, aliens.
Well, we watched Pixels the other day, the Adam Sandler movie, and I was like, that. I mean, yeah, they destroyed a bunch of shit, but like it was kind of like a fun little like fight between the two. Obviously, it was going to end in world annihilation for us if we didn't win, but like I was like, yeah, well, that'd be cool.
I'm about to say something controversial now.
Yeah, go ahead.
That's going to start an argument. Adam Sandler does not have a bad movie because he does not make movies he has movies that I do not enjoy watching, that a lot of people don't enjoy watching. The one where he plays his sister also.
Oh, yeah, Jack and Jill.
Yeah. But he's not, like Adam Sandler knows he's not making like Oscar bait. He's not trying to get any Academy Awards or any of that shit. He just tries to make a coherent story that's kind of fun. So honestly, like I don't even look at reviews when I'm going to watch an Adam Sandler movie because I already know the critics have shit on it because it's popular to do. It's popular to do. I just throw it on and have
I actually
fun.
like his like romantic comedies, some of the best, just because they are actually funny. Like it's not just like cheesy girl style romantic comedies. Like there's humor in it, and like 50 First Dates is like one of my favorite like romantic comedies.
It is really good. So many, like once you start thinking about it, you're like, like what happens when she wakes up like 8 months pregnant?
Well, they did. Like, yeah, I mean, that was kind of like the end was like,
But she wasn't pregnant.
No, but like there's a new video every day.
Like imagine you're in labor too, and then you just wake up in the hospital where the day before you were having a birthday party, and now you're in the hospital having a baby, and you're just like, what the fuck? And he's like, watch the video. Watch the video. All right, so we're going to get into our first piece of advice. You putting notes on here for Mike?
Yeah.
Repeat advice request. 19-year-old guy who met a girl at a party and wasn't sure what to do when she goes off to college. Well, they heard it. Yeah. I'm not very secretive. Oh, yeah. So is this what it's going into?
Yep.
This is part 2 of it. Oh, man. All right,
part 2 for the guy that met a girl at a party and then he wasn't sure whether they should date over the summer. She's going off to college. So we gave him advice and now he's back for more.
Yeah, the advice was pretty much, go do your own thing, kind of live your life, because she's going to college. There's going to be, lots of partying and stuff like that. And it's probably going to be sucked to be locked down in college. I'm not going to lie. If I couldn't go to college, give me a little bit of dick. Oh, God. It ruined my college experience.
The little bit of dick would ruin your college experience?
Yeah. Honestly, a little bit of dick would ruin like any situation I was in.
That's what I was thinking.
It's just like, oh, fuck, I broke my leg. Well, let's add a little bit of dick to it.
My wife was asking me that yesterday about like, would you ever let a guy? And I was like, no. And she's like, why? And I'm like, that's just not something that.
Right, I don't look at. I don't look at dicks, and I'm like, man, that's a good looking thing right there.
And she's like, but like a lot of girls are like interested in it. And I was like, yeah, there's probably a lot of stuff that goes behind that, but like
bitches are bad though.
But for me personally, I just don't, and it's fine. Like I'm not judging anybody that finds dicks attractive. I just personally don't, and it doesn't matter how attractive the guy is. If he's like, can I suck it? No, yeah. No, the answer is no.
Yeah, because there's no, like, people will be like, well, just imagine it's something. I can't.
No.
I can't. There's a beer tickling my nutsack.
I'm here right now. Because, like, I did have a friend that, like, he would try every time we were drinking and partying, and he'd be like, I could do it better than a woman can. And I was like, I bet you can. Like, I fully believe in your abilities. I don't
right, you ain't got to prove nothing to me. Look, I'm one of those type of friends. I just go ahead and I believe in you already. You ain't got to show me anything. I will push the boundaries with a friend where he's like, God,
is Mike gay?
Right, like he's like, he's making gay jokes back, and then at a certain point he's just like, I'm kind of nervous, man. Yeah. Like,
is this about to happen?
Just like, no. What are we talking about? All right, so. Dear Mike and Dylan, okay, so I sent you guys one yesterday, but now I have more. How do I not become jealous about a chick who was not my girlfriend? This girl has told me many, many times that she likes me and wants something with me, but also doesn't want to date, whatever. Not my ideal situation, but I like her too, so I'll take what I can get. It's not like this happens a lot, haha. My new problem is I found out she's been texting my best friend's older brother. Mind you, I met this girl through my best friend, so it's also weird that she's trying to go after her brother. If she is, and I don't know, that's in parentheses. Listen, brother, she's for the streets, man. Look, the first one, you didn't have to tell me she was, promiscuous. But she's in town and she's, trying to hook up with somebody and telling you she doesn't want to. So she's doing her thing, brother. So
well, see, and I don't see, there's no problem as young people, whatever you want to do, like, that's her prerogative, but like, you're not together. Like, so have you guys hooked up? Did you guys like actually do anything? No, you're just like into her, right? So
no, I think they did have sex.
I don't think they did.
I think they did. And he
said they got too drunk to have sex and then they were talking afterwards.
Oh, no. So you didn't even have sex with her and she's out banging other. Oh, brother.
Well,
look.
Once again, she might not be banging. She's just talking to some other dude. So like, I don't know that it's in that pile, dude.
Look at this. This is the pile of misfit toys right here. No. I'm going to find it. Watch.
It's definitely not going to be on
At
top.
first, I was afraid. I was petrified.
You're trying to get us canceled, dude.
Well, how's that going to cancel people?
We're going to get demonetized.
Look, it's right.
You just skipped 14 pages.
Yeah, because I could see. All right, no, I'm not going to find it. I think they did do it, though.
No, they didn't.
Oh, well, that's doubly sad.
I'm pretty sure they were just talking and they really liked each other. She said she liked him and that they were going to like see how the summer went, but they weren't going to date because she's going off to school.
All right, let me finish this before we crush them with, because, we got to be honest on here. Like the person who was like, dealing with all the health issues. People say that I metaphorically suplexed them with my, it was like toughen up, buttercup, but we got to get through this one.
Yeah.
And it would be one thing if she was talking to other people that I didn't know and didn't know about them. But now I do, and I don't even know if she's like talking to him like that, but I honestly can't think of another reason for her to be texting him. They're not friends like that. I can't get that thought out of my head, but like, what the hell do I do? Do I ask her to be exclusive? I feel like we can't because we ain't dating. Do I just pretend I have no idea? I've been single since I was like 16, 19 now, except for my last situationship. I hate when people make up words. Look, I fucking hate it, all right? Who I fell so hard for, and then they strung me along and then ghosted me. So I'm low-key scared this will happen all over again. Sorry this is so long. Needed somewhere to rant. I love your show. It gets me through work, splicing fibers every day. Keep it up and make those 9/11 moon pie shirts. We will one day when we have money and we can make a whole bunch of shirts that only 5 people buy.
If people start buying Labor Llama shirts, then we will then have money to then buy new shirts.
Shout out the sponsor, Labor Llama, all right? Work gear for working men.
Use code
talk about
MADHD 30 for 30% off currently.
That's right, for the people on the podcast. But look, brother, you obviously are a romanticizer, all right? You are a romanticizer. You are putting more stock in relationships with people than you should. I don't think, if y'all haven't had sex, if y'all haven't even, I don't think she even likes you, brother. And I don't want it to sound rough, you know what I'm saying? But she is talking to other people. She doesn't want to have a relationship. You can ask her. You can be like, hey, can I squeeze in between the thighs one time? But I think that would be a mistake for you because of how much you are romanticizing things. And I think you're going to lead yourself to getting hurt. I don't know the proper procedure to, fix romanticizing things and falling for people that, aren't that into you. Besides, if this is like the route you want to go and you don't want to just be sleeping around with people, there are women out there who are, serious and they're not, dating around and stuff like that. Find one of those girls. And maybe she's not up to the standard that you hold other women as far as like beauty and shit. But look, everybody can't get the baddest bitches. It's just a fact of life. I think you are meeting girls that are kind of outside of your range for dating, and then you obviously are thinking about them probably late at night, romanticizing, like, I guess coming up with like situations in your head. And I watch a lot of The Office, and this is what they accuse Michael Scott of doing, and he does do that. So my thing is you need to get into situations where you can find something serious with someone who wants something serious, because the girls that you are going after now, I don't think they are that interested in you. And I don't think the relationships are going, I don't think they are considered relationships. I think you are considering them relationships because you are, fantasizing a life with them or whatnot. And I think you just need to kind of switch up maybe where you're hanging out at, looking for girls at, and, try to get into, because look, if you're out partying and shit, you're going to find women who are more promiscuous. If you then switch up your scenery and you're going to, I don't know, a fucking church, if you go to church, I'm not saying go to church and find women. It is a good place. But, just find somewhere where ideally the woman is not, partying and stuff. Like if a girl wants to do that, that's fine. If you don't want your girl to do that, then you're going to have to, hook up or find women in different areas of life.
Yeah, my advice to anybody with relationships, and it goes like, it's hard to figure it out when you're 18, 19 because you don't know who the fuck you are. But like really throughout your whole life, the best thing you can do is be you and figure out who the fuck that is, because ultimately like girl seemed interested and then she's cooled off. So that probably means that like you seemed like you were cool, confident, collected, and then you switched up.
He started laying it on
needy
thick
and being like, "Oh, I need you," and that isn't something that you can't overcome. Right now, you are being the needy guy that, like, I'm sorry, but especially young girls, they like in their 20s and they're like going out dating, they want a guy who's somewhat sure of himself. Not like, they always say like girls look for assholes. In a way they kind of do, but it's more so they look for guys that are confident in who they are. And so they seek that attention of somebody who is confident. And not that you have to be a dick or anything like that, but you have to start being sure of yourself. Right now, you met a girl at a party and then you probably blew up her phone for the next fucking week. That doesn't look good for you.
Right.
And like, so like if she is talking to the brother, maybe the brother's a little bit older and like he doesn't actually give a shit whether this girl's chasing after him or not. He's not falling in love after day one. And so he might be the more attractive one to her in this moment. And I'm not saying like you can't romanticize the girl, but right now you've probably already made your bed. Like your bed that you're sleeping in right now is she thought you were cute, enjoyed a conversation that night, and then you fucked it up, which is okay. But like there's billions of girls out there. Like you don't have to focus on this one. Yes, she's cute. You thought it would be fun. She's going off to college. It probably wouldn't have worked out anyways. Like move on to the next one and be confident in yourself.
I think that going forward, I'm just going to give like a stupid, like just be funny with my advice, because yours is so, like me, I keep going like back to the same point because my brain can't fucking think past Michael wanting to make a joke. So I'm just going to be like, I don't know, bro, try to do like, fucking non-advice because Dylan gives like the fucking premium advice.
Well, I've been through it.
And I'm the free trial. Dylan's the premium subscription that you would pay.
Well, and I think honestly, for the podcast's sake, the best way to do this is you read the story. I give my quick take because it's usually only like 30 seconds of advice to a minute. And then you go back into the crazy hot take and then you can talk some shit. And it's not nearly as like, because I'm waiting around for like 5 minutes for you to circle and circle and circle back to your point.
I just go back to the same thing. And that was with the fucking advertisement thing.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, God, I watched it. My face felt hot. I was a little bit embarrassed. Look, I was just like, God damn it. Like I keep saying the same shit over and over again. But like Dylan said, women and guys, too, if she is getting a lot of attention, then not giving her what she is getting from everybody else is a way to like, break away from what everybody else is doing. There's a reason that people like going after married people.
Yeah.
It's like you want what you can't have type situation. So, like I said, bro, go to like a church or something, somewhere where you're going to find like a girl.
Or something you like to do that isn't partying. Like, I mean, if you like going hiking, there's hiking groups and there's people of all ages in them. Like, I mean, find any activity that you
girls
enjoy.
Gonna have that ass on them too,
Yeah.
Boy. That shit going to be fucking, that shit's going to be fucking nice and
sweaty after the hike.
Listen, I don't mind a little bit of
no.
seasoning, brother. I don't mind a little bit of seasoning. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I like put a little salt and pepper on it. All right, so we're going to go to the next one. The title is The Good Shit. Dear Mike and Dylan, I'm writing this just to say hello and that I love your podcast. I work at Amazon and listen to your podcast all throughout my shift, and it helps me not get angry and punch the customers that give me crap. You guys are hilarious, and when Mike dies, the voices, it always makes me giggle.
Oh, must be does the voices.
Oh, that's what he was talking about. All right,
Yeah.
There we go. Okay, I'm a little bit of a retard.
Oh no, if they wrote dies, they wrote dies.
Well, still, I should have been able to extrapolate the
Deduce.
information. Yes, sir. Just do a little bit of extrapolating, and I would have got it. I would have replied, they don't call me the centimeter defeater for nothing. Anyways, awesome job. I really wish I could criticize you guys in something, but I can't. So sorry to disappoint. I have Spotify notify me whenever you guys put out a new episode. You guys can talk about gay shit for hours, and I'll still listen to it. Hope you guys make money off this podcast soon.
Me too.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. My wife too. Yes. She's like, so what? I mean, this is like a passion project, babe. And I was like, you can't do that.
Well, it's the investment.
Yeah.
Like you got to see. We got to put in time right now, and then it'll.
I word things. I need you to just like explain it to her. Yes, investment, not passion project. She's like, son, you're 32. Like there's no more time for passion. I hope you guys make many more episodes and have a great day. Love you. I love you too. Fucking, you gotta.
I think you skipped over a little sentence in there when remember we did that one about the little penis guy, and he was saying he's the centimeter defeater.
If I was working with you and Mike came up to me saying, how long is it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, there it was.
When I got fired?
Yeah.
That thing long, ain't it? That's what I said. That thing long, ain't it? It was a little barbershop thing. Got fired for that, for sexual harassment. Yeah. So again, when HR worded it back to me, she was like, you were asking how long his, because he threw some shit in there. Like he made it kind of more gay because she was like, how big his black penis was. And I was like, nobody threw race into it. All right. Now I just assume it's probably bigger. Yeah. Like I'm not
bigger than mine.
Right. Yeah. I'm not sitting there fucking just be like specificizing on the fucking, and you look, dicks come in all shapes and colors. Like he could have a Neapolitan penis. Like it's happened. So look, hey, I love you too.
I never thought about that, but that is possible. Pink, white, and black. You know, like,
who was it? Draymond Green when he accidentally posted his dick to Instagram. Yeah, bro, I think every celebrity dick and balls I have seen, Drake's, was all just because I opened an app before the platform was aware that people were spamming the dick and balls on the everywhere. Yeah, so I just get, and look, that should be, now I understand why women don't like unsolicited dick pics.
Yeah.
I mean, I still send them, but I can see why they don't like it.
Well, then your wife has to look at them. So,
dear Mike and Dylan, please have Mike read this story for the first time while recording. I would think his reaction would be comical. Keep up the great work. I've been here from the start. Oh, and now it's this one.
Yep.
Okay. Oh, that's long. All right, here.
I didn't staple that one. Look at me.
Oh, shit. This is from Reddit, though. All right, well, I guess we're reading a Reddit story.
Well, we've asked them to send them in.
Oh, yeah, because they want to see it.
This isn't Am I the Asshole, so I didn't put it on Two Daddies.
Right. So, look, guys, I ain't going to read these before the podcast. That's a lot of work. We already got to, like, make thumbnails and shit and edit and all the other stuff. I'm just like, we'll do it live. Because, I don't know. Like, I would read them probably better. Like, I would do no, I wouldn't. Thanks for believing in me, brother. But I just think, I don't know, in the moment coming up with stuff is a lot more fun. Like, it might be funnier if I wrote shit for it, but...
then you'd be trying. And
just trying is gay. Look, if I see people out there trying, like that guy's trying to be successful, look at him. Couldn't be me.
I think if we were doing it for a YouTube video, it makes sense to write it. But like with this, it's...
What's going on, guys? It's your boy, Mike, back with a brand new adventure.
Yeah.
In today's video, we're going to be sucking dick. I don't fucking know.
On this mention, though, like... The one thing that I hate, because my daughter watches so much YouTube of these different people, and it's always they talk like this, and then they raise their voice, and like it's always like these weird ways of talking. So the new thing came with that guy Chills, where he was like, and then they went into the cave, and inside the cave there was a lobster, and then they went up to the lobster, and the lobster was like, "The fuck y'all doing in my cave?" Yeah, that is so annoying.
Right? Yeah,
so annoying.
And then I learned how to do his voice because I was like, man, I could make like videos because all you got to do is put up like a creepy little slideshow and just be like, and then they went. It's kids. How hard is it to come up with a horror story for them?
Well, there was one where this guy he goes around and finds like animals in like sewers and stuff like that, and he finds like all these like super rare things, and I'm just like, you have to be like making this video up. There's no way you're actually finding like this rare albino axolotl or whatever.
They always do that shit. And the card people do too. Like they'll take the cards to like Walmart and be like, I lifted up this thing and whoa, there was a pack here from 1996.
Yeah.
But to kids, they don't fucking know. So they're just like, this is real. What I'm watching is, bro, kids and old people, both, they just, anything on the internet they think is real. All right. So we're going to get into this Reddit story. The title is Fire arrows and explosives don't mix. Around age 10, my dad got me one of those little compound bow beginner kits. Must be nice having a dad.
Yeah.
God, that couldn't be me. Of course, the first month I went around our land sticking arrows in anything that I can get stuck by an arrow. Did you know that a 1955 40-horse farm mill tractor tire will take 6 rounds before it goes down? Tough son of a bitch. That got boring. So being the 10-year-old Dukes of Hazzard fan I quickly advanced to taking strips of t-shirts doused in chainsaw gas tied around the end and was sending flaming arrows all over the place. One summer afternoon, I was shooting flaming arrows into a large rotten oak stump in our backyard. I looked over under the carport and see a shiny, brand new can of starter fluid, ether. The light bulb went off in my head. I grabbed the can and set it on the stump. I thought it would probably just spray out in a disappointing manner. Let's face it, to a 10-year-old mouth breather like myself, ether doesn't really sound flammable. So I went back into the house and got a 1-pound can of Pyrodex, black powder for muzzleloader rifles. He's making a bomb. At this point, I set the can of ether on the stump and opened it up. My intentions were to sprinkle a little bit around the ether, but it all sort of dumped out on me. No biggie. A 1-pound Pyrodex and 16 ounces of ether should make a loud pop, kind of like a firecracker, you know? You know what? Screw that. I'm going back into the house for the other can. Yes, I got a second can of Pyrodex and dumped it too. Well, y'all got all that goddamn gunpowder. Does your dad Civil War reenact? Oh,
Probably.
Man. Wow. God, now we're cooking. I stepped back about 15 feet and lit the 2-stroke arrow. I drew the nock to my cheek and took aim. As I released, I heard a clunk. The arrow launched from my bow in slow motion time frame. I turned to see my dad getting out of the truck. Oh shit, he just got home from work. So help me God, it took 10 minutes for that arrow to go from my bow to the can. My dad was just walking towards me in slow motion with a what the fuck look in his eyes. As I turned back towards my target, just in time to see the arrow pierce the starting fluid can right at the bottom, right through the main pile of Pyrodex and into the can. Oh shit. When the shockwave hit, it knocked me off my feet. I don't know if it was the actual compression wave that threw me back or just a reflex from the 235 freaking decibels of sound. I caught half a millisecond glimpse of the violence during the initial explosion and will tell you there was dust, grass, and bugs hovering 1 feet above the ground as far as I could see. It was like a little low to the ground layer of dust fog full of grasshopper, spiders, and worms. The daylight turned purple. Let me repeat this. The fucking daylight turned purple. There was a sweet gum tree out by the gate going into the pasture. Notice I said was. That son of a bitch got up and ran. So here I am on the ground, blown completely out of my shoes with my Thundercats t-shirt shredded. My dad is on the other side of the carport having what I can only assume is a Vietnam flashback. Echo Bravo Charlie, you're bringing him in too close. Ceasefire, damn it, ceasefire. His hat was blown off and is 30 feet behind him in the driveway. All the windows on the north side of the house are blown out and there's a slow rolling mushroom cloud about 2,000 feet over our backyard. There's a Honda 185 three-wheeler parked on the other side of the yard and the fenders are drooped down and now touching the tires. I wish I knew what I said to my dad at this moment. I don't know. And I know I said something I couldn't hear. I couldn't hear inside my own head. I don't think he heard me either, nor that it would have really mattered. I don't remember much from this point on. I said something, felt a sharp pain, and then woke up later. I felt a sharp pain, blacked out, woke up later, repeat this process for an hour or so, you get the idea. I remember at one point my mom had to give me CPR and my dad screaming, bring him back to life so I can kill him again. Thanks, Mom. One thing is for sure, I never had to mow that around that stump again. Mom had been fucking Jesus. I was almost through this, doing a good job.
You're still good.
Mom had been bitching about that thing for years, and Dad never did anything about it. I stepped up to the plate and handled business. Dad sold his muzzle loader a week later. I still have some sort of bone growth abnormality, either from the blast or the beating or both. I guess what I'm trying to say is get your kids into archery. It's good discipline, and Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself. God damn it. All that to say that. That's like one of the most, he didn't kill himself. And what sucks too is like everybody then goes into like and I'm like, it's not fun. If the conspiracy's right there, like you got to really like make that thing.
Yeah.
Like I want to watch someone's video where I'm just like, bro, I can't tell if there's like they're making a point, like they got actual information, or there's a mental disability going on. That's my favorite kind of conspiracies. Like when it's all just out there, that's nice. I don't know. I don't think besides like the Ring of Fire and us lighting the.
Did I tell the story about me and my buddy lighting a tree on fire?
No.
So we used to play with gas. Like I'd go over to my buddy's house. He was like the more rich of my friend group, and so whenever we went over there, we always had like Doritos and Mountain Dews, and like we had like whatever snacks and stuff we wanted. But also they were like the like super like fancy eaters too. Like that was the first time I ever had like Havarti cheese or like Munster and all this other stuff. And so
I don't even know what those are.
yeah, they're like the sandwiches he would make. He's the guy that cooked at my wedding. So like super awesome dude. And I was actually like the bad influence hardcore on him. Like he was like straight A's, smart kid, didn't get into trouble, and I got him like smoking weed. I don't think he ever really drank or anything. I don't think he smokes weed now either. Like he's super straight laced kid, but awesome. And so we used to do like crazy shit where we'd try to stay up all night, and so we'd put like lawn chairs in the road and wait for the sun to come up over the hills and everything. But one night we got some gas into like a Mountain Dew bottle, and in the process of the night we realized that Doritos are like legit flammable. Like you could take a lighter and light it on fire, it'll go up. And so we made a fire down by the creek, and then like there's like this huge willow tree like over top of it. And so we took the fire and we made a line of Doritos out to a Mountain Dew bottle that was like set with cap down. And so the Doritos came over and like it started getting close. So we went and like hid up in the tree, and it was the craziest experience ever because like it took forever for it to finally get there and like do something. But when it did, it shot a literal like foot wide pillar of flame. Just like a pillar though. Right. It wasn't just like an explosion or anything like that. It was just like a straight line shot up straight up like 35 feet because that's as like the lowest branch that was there.
Yeah.
And just lit the fucker on fire. Luckily it was gas, so you know it burned for a second and then went back out. It was a live tree. We didn't burn anything down. But we tried that experiment like fucking 5 more times, and every single time by the time that the gas like let loose, it was just like woof. And then
you couldn't get it to shoot up again?
No, it was like the perfect storm because like technically with plastic, as long as the flame is like touching where the liquid is, it always kind of stays there. It never burns through. But somehow like it made this perfect little pinhole that shot straight up. Because I mean, it could have shot out. It could have shot any other direction, but it went straight up in the fucking air and lit this tree on fire.
We need one of the science people that watch this and they're smart, which I don't know if we have a lot of those viewing this. But tell us how to recreate that.
Yeah, we'll do that as a,
special. We'll do one outside and we'll try to we'll try to shoot a fucking...
And then we'll be arrested.
Yeah, well, look. It happens. It happened. Like I said, the Ring of Fire and then lighting the big spongy thing on fire in Jamestown, we didn't really play with explosives. The biggest fire I ever saw was we had a neighbor throw a pine tree for Christmas into a already like bonfire, and bro, that shit shot up like to the sky, like in the clouds. I was like, what the fuck just happened? It shot up so fucking far. It was really cool.
I went to this random party. I don't even know how I actually went there because I don't think I knew any of the people, but I got invited to this party, and they would go around the neighborhoods after Christmas and just scoop up all the all the old Christmas trees. And so instead of doing that like once, they did it like 30 fucking times. And so it was just like always, and like afterwards you just come back with like soot all over your face because like the little needles that burn just end up like landing on you, and then you just have like soot lines all over your face. But that was a fun little story. I don't know how to I don't know if the thing was just that whole story to lead to Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself. I don't know. I could see a like a redneck, like a country boy kid just having those. I would have done it. I mean, we used to always do those ones with the toilet bowl cleaner, and we did those a lot. And one of our friends ended up getting put in jail because he put it in a mailbox, or somebody else.
What the fuck? Like that's
somebody else put it in a mailbox, and then it didn't go off, and so the bomb squad came out. And since he had been doing it throughout the town, everybody thought it was him.
You had told me about this, yeah.
So he ended up getting pinned for it, even though it was like a kid that didn't mix it right, and then it didn't go off.
He's like the one kid from the Butterfly Effect, right? The real bad kid. He was doing like bad stuff. So they're just like, oh, he must have done it. Yeah. God, what a movie, Butterfly Effect. I love how he turns into a baby and strangles himself. That's look, it was all going well until, he turns into an infant with the wherewithal to fucking, when he was a kid, I don't fucking know. Look, it's a movie. Title, I Need Eye Bleach. Dear Mike and Dylan, this is an old post that I made. Sorry for any mistakes. Not forgiven.
No.
I'm not even read it. Not forgiven. So I worked nights at a gas station for a while a few years ago. Now, at the time, I was mostly working the night shift, but on this day, I was working the afternoon shift. I went outside to tell the assistant manager that a regular customer had left some money for her. She said okay and whispered to keep an eye on the car that had been sitting by the pumps for, I think, almost an hour. Oh, said okay and went back in. So a few minutes later, Crackhead 1 and Crackhead 2 came in. They are both strung out, and I could tell, so I take a deep breath and prepare myself. So they didn't steal anything as far as I know. Crackhead 2 paid for the gas and went back to the car. Crackhead 2, or I guess Crackhead 1 came up and bought a couple things and asked where the bathroom was. I said, out the other door and to the left. She went out the door to the right. This happened at least 4 times. So she comes back in and says, wow, you're cute, and do you want my number? I said, no, thank you. My girlfriend won't like that. But you ain't ever had your dick sucked by one with no teeth? Come on, brother.
A gum job?
Yeah. She said, whatever, you're not that cute anyways. Fucking bitch. That sounds like one of the nice guys where like they're being like, yeah, you got to get with a nice guy like me. And then they're like, well, anyway. I have a boyfriend. He's like, you stupid fat cow. That's why I didn't even want you anyways. I got plenty
I was just trying to be nice.
Japanese mommy titties to suck on. That post I made on Reddit was crazy, bro. She picked up some gum to buy, so I rang it up. She started digging in her bra for money and apparently couldn't find it and proceeded to whip out her whole titty. I was shocked, but being a gentleman, I quickly looked away. She says, you didn't see anything, did you? She was flirty, and I shook my head no. She wanted to leave her number again. I said no. It was the longest, strangest interaction I ever had. Thank you for reading. I know my grammar sucks. So sorry, it actually wasn't that bad, okay? And sometimes...
That was not the worst.
Right, when life hands you a meth head, you got to suck a titty. Now, what to tell, like, you didn't... crackheads are crackheads, all right? Some crackheads are, well... The thing is, I don't know what it is about the hard drugs that like give them the wrinkly face and makes them want to wear the I Love New York fucking sweatpants, Cookie Monster sweatpants too. But you gotta get one of the fresh drug addicts. They haven't ruined their life yet. They're in the
They've
process.
They've lost their morals, but they're still like,
right. Yeah,
kind of put together.
Like they just got the eye bags right now. And 2 months they'll have the wrinkly face, and they'll also. When was the last time we recorded? Last week. It was like on Thursday or Friday. So I go by the gas station, and someone from they're not really family, but like I consider them family. She had like lost her mind, and she was like down there fucking begging for money at the gas. Well, she's not from Lexington, and I was so surprised to see her. And obviously I hid like my face the whole time, and I was like speaking like this. So like incognito mode. Cause it's weird. But then I had to like send the fucking manager at the convenience store a message and be like, look, she's like legit crazy. Like she's psychotic. Like psychotic people think like fucking stabbing people, but psychotics, like they can't differentiate like from right from wrong. Yeah. Reality from, like she's just out there fucking, she comes inside and she's like, she just grabs something out of the air while she's walking. I'm just like, I don't even know what she just got. Probably just snatched a fairy right out of the sky. But yeah, that was, that's actually a really sad story though. 'Cause she had her shit together and then her brother passed away, and she went down this slippery slope of losing your mind. I don't love my brothers that much. Title, Dad Does a Podcast ? Dear Mike and Dylan, first off, I want to start off with how much I love listening to the podcast. They are a hoot. Do we keep, like, I mean, for like, ego, it feels good reading that, but I think it would get, or did people do that in the, like, the advice thing? I don't know. Somebody watch Theo Von and tell me what he does. I
mean, we can delete out part of, but I just put it in as what they wrote.
Well, they're putting that. I'm not being a dick about it, but I just don't want people to be like, yeah, we get it. You're fucking... People think your podcast is all right, brother. You know, what if I start getting, I turn into like a prima donna, a diva.
Starting?
Wow. You two are funny as shit, and I hope the money starts heading your way. Maybe if I keep reading it, it'll manifest. So
yeah, maybe they're just trying to.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it in there.
Dream board us.
Right? Yeah, the universe is coming together. You two seem like genuine guys. Nope, we're lying, making it all up. We're actually black. So
I'm Hispanic. Sorry.
We did the reverse Get Out. We put ourselves in white people bodies. Got tired of having big penises. I've listened to you guys since the beginning. I joined the Reddit when there was just 23 of us. Now there's 89. I love listening to you guys in the car and where I go. I love listening to you guys in the car, and where I go goes my 3-year-old daughter and 2-month-old son. Anytime my daughter hears the intro of either of the podcasts, she always shouts, "We're rolling. Are we rolling, mommy?" That's the cutest fucking shit ever.
Although
God.
I don't recommend this
Fuck
podcast for 2 to 3 year olds.
Let it happen. Like my son, he's 8. And I was like, hey, he watches YouTube shorts. I'm like, yeah, if like a video pops up of like somebody dying or getting ate by a shark, just scroll off of it. Yeah. And he's like, what? I was like, yeah, sometimes that happens on, but you can't always protect
interesting
them.
Stuff.
Yeah. You can't always protect them, but you can just be like, scroll away. And then if you got to talk to me about it. So he's never talked to me about a crazy ass video he's come up again. But look, here's the thing. The only thing, like I watch horror movies with my daughter, shit. I've been doing that since, she was 6, 7 years old. The only thing I don't do is like the sexual stuff.
Yeah.
Like if it has nudity in it, which I don't know why every horror movie's just got to be like titties. Here they are.
See, I don't have a problem with like titties showing up. It's when it's like a big sex scene or anything like that. Like the Terrifier where they cut the girl in half from the crotch down. I was like, oh, that's kind of... Maybe you shouldn't be watching this.
Yeah, me and my daughter were going to watch that. And he was like, wait a minute. There's a cutting in half pussy starting at the pussy cutting in half scene. And I was just like, oh, we're not going to watch that.
What they pulled off for their budget, I was just like, that's insane.
But, man, and listen, there needs to be a streaming service, though, which I don't think the demand is very high, where they just make, like, remember horror movies when you watched it on, like, Sci-Fi, it was like the made-for-TV version.
Yeah.
Just do like that. Just have that, because you got to still have them edited down. It takes 5 minutes. Give us the option. Do we want to watch this, or do we want to watch the no nudity version? Yeah. She also asks when she hears the name Dylan, why are they always talking about daddy on your show? Her dad's name is Dylan. Anyways, thanks for the podcast. Both of you guys have given some great advice, but also just reminding people if you're trying and doing your best, you're a good parent. Oh, that was it.
Yep.
That was it.
Remember, I break them up into pages.
I always assume it's a dude reading it to us.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Just immediately, it's the sexism. I'm like, women can't type. But always, and then it'll be like, it's one, bro. 99% of people who comment and fucking interact with the podcast are women.
Yeah.
That's what I said. Unrelenting sex appeal. That's what it is. They just look at this.
It's those calves.
It is. It's my bro. I remember the first one I posted on TikTok, the cut up version of like a story we did. And someone was like, bro, we do not need the leg shot. I was like, yes, you do. Yes, you do. That's what attracts the viewers. But thank you so much. When Dylan does the nice ones, I'd leave in like a first name. So I could be like, thank you, person's name. Or username. I don't know if they put names.
Well, I just don't want to like necessarily, like even with the nice ones, like I just don't think names are necessary. Because like if they then
from now on, if you want your like first name in there, we're not going to do first and last. But if you want your first name, just say it.
Well,
somewhere.
And put it in the actual like thing, and then I won't take it out. Because basically the stories I don't modify. So if you, I know it says like name, email, title, description. Put it in the description of like, hey, Mike and Dylan, it's Tom, it's Susie, whatever. Like put it in there, and then I won't take it out. But like I'm not just gonna like put everybody's
Who is Tom
name.
and Susie?
I don't fucking know.
Why'd you bring those names up?
2 names that I
obviously deep within his psyche, he is thinking about Tom and Susie. I had a dream last night of a phoenix made of all lights. I haven't had that dream since I was like 5 years old. It was crazy. And then
did good things follow that?
No. Then the next part of my dream, I'm on like the 135th floor of a skyscraper, going down a glass elevator.
You love that.
Yeah, and it was like one of those lucid dreams too. So that fucking sucked.
Mike doesn't.
I think it was chili cheese fries.
Mike doesn't like buildings over like 3 floors.
Yeah, I just don't like the sky. And then when we get out, like I'm in a field and there are like rockets shooting, like we're in active wartime. Which I didn't care about that. I just cared about the rockets being in the sky. I was like, I don't like this. I don't give a fuck about the war. I'm just like, hey, rocket, can you come hit me so I can get out of this fucking... Did not realize it was a dream either, and I'm really good about that. That's what's crazy. Title, my 15-year-old son. Dear Mike and Dylan, I just want your advice on a situation I have with my 15-year-old son. To start off, I married my wife in 2022. I don't know why I said it like that. Had my daughter in 2023, and my youngest daughter in 2024. Huge age gap, I know. I'm going to be the old dad at the school functions. Here's the issue. My son is a wait, I had my daughter in 2023 and my youngest daughter in 2024. Oh, I guess he meant 2013. Or no.
No, he's got his older son.
Oh,
and then
okay.
he's
So he
got
had two
newer
daughters
kids.
then.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit dumb. All right. Here's the issue. My son is a carbon copy of me. We almost look alike. I'm talking height, weight, and facial features, even attitudes and diagnosis. He got diagnosed with ODD, oppositional defiance disorder.
I put that in there because I didn't know whether
Me
I didn't
too.
know I didn't
Yeah.
know what it was. So
Yeah, I have it. I have a very bad problem with authority, which is so crazy because I'm like, why do I just like constantly argue with like supervisors and teachers and
I guess I probably have that then too.
ADHD? It's something else I can't remember now. Yeah, it's just like it's like a thing. I was like, wow, I thought I was just a dick. Like, technically, I thought I was just bigger than fucking myself when I was a little
So
kid.
you knew what that meant, ODD, before I put the little thing inside of it?
Yes.
I did not.
Yes.
I'd never heard of it before.
Yeah, I think there's another name for it too.
But yeah, I argue with it.
But it's literally just like having a problem with authority, an authoritarian problem. I, on the other hand, didn't because my mom said meds are for white kids. I'm half native. She's full blood. Anyways, back to the boy. I can't get this kid to take care of his dental hygiene, personal hygiene, or clean his room. We've even tried to tell him that the terrible state of his room is affecting his little sister's health, which in a small way it has. They both have breathing issues, and the smell coming from his room probably isn't helping. I've tried donating all of his things, still doesn't care. What's my solution? Also, Mike, I've thought about hitting him in the throat, but that's frowned upon until he's 18. Same submitter as above.
Yeah, that's the next story.
So it's the same person.
Yeah.
All right, so we're just going to read it as in one.
That's,
Is all this him?
No, that's another
Okay, I was like, damn, he's like, he fucking needs help
I
with
split
everything.
the stories.
All right, so this is from the same reader. We'll get to the first part. Charging my son. Dear Mike and Dylan, am I the asshole for charging my son rent? I know you've had this question before, but hear me out. He's almost 16 years old, and it's time for him to get a job. It's not. It is not. I do plan on charging him rent, but, well, I mean, listen, when I say it's not, because if you want to focus on education, focus on education. If you want to focus on working, focus on working. Do not half-ass two things. That's just my thing. It's like when I started popping off as a content creator, I was like, I can still, make boxes, or I can fucking be a content creator. I can't half-ass two things. I can whole-ass one thing. So I quit my job to do this. Did not tell my wife, by the way. So that was a conversation. And she was like, well, what the fuck are we going to do about money? I was like, but
It's going to work.
yeah, I'll just manifest the money. I have yet to manifest it. I do plan on charging him rent, but the rent that I'd be charging him is for repairs to our home that he has caused. This boy will get bored and start tearing things up. For instance, a week after we moved into our new trailer home, Trouse, Dylan added, he tore up the blinds in his room. Another time he cut 2 holes in the laminate flooring in his room. He ripped a mic from my Xbox headset. Every time he does something like this, he lies about it. Am I the asshole for charging him rent? For repairs? No, that is...
Not for repairs.
No, yeah, that's fixing something that he fucked up. As for the stank, I don't know, brother. I'm looking at all the stuff and I'm like, that's what I do. Like, if I didn't have a wife, I wouldn't remember to do any of that thing.
Shower and brush your teeth? What?
Yeah, bro. When your wife sits down next to you and she's like, baby, shouldn't we, well, that goes along with like my sensory shit. It's just, have you ever seen me out in the rain? Can't fucking stand. I can't stand rain touching me. Same thing with a fucking shower. Now, when I get in there,
don't like
and
a shower?
I fucking hate it. And I just swimming. I like swimming. I don't know why. My brain, I guess, associates that with fun. Baths and showers, bro, fucking suck.
I just see you out like in the lake being like, yeah, just having a good wash up here while I'm swimming.
When I finally like get into it too, like then also like I'll get depressed too, and then I just won't fucking even try. I won't even try. And then Amy will just come up and she'll be like, "You want to take a shower with me?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah," and then I'll be like, "Oh, that's why she was."
You just want me to get clean.
She's tricking me. She's tricking me to take a shower. The thing is, I don't know. It's just at that young, like 15 years old, you care about a lot of things. Hygiene ain't one of them. What it's really going to take, a girl.
Yeah.
I don't know how ugly he is. You know what I'm saying? And not to say that your boy's ugly.
Well,
you
no.
said that you're a spitted image, so I'll just accuse you. I'll accuse the storyteller. Maybe he is ugly, okay? But he got to get a girl, man.
Well,
like
ugly,
you,
like it doesn't matter how good you look.
there's somebody
people
for
out
everybody.
there.
I was trying to be funny. I fucked it up, okay, Dylan? Look, argue time. Going back to the same point.
But
But
yeah,
yeah,
I mean, the
he
big
got to
thing,
get a girl.
yeah, like to try, you have to inspire him. And I think the only way to inspire a teenage boy is to figure out how to get him romantically interested in somebody that he actually gives a shit about his appearance and smell enough to like, because like, I'm sorry, but every 15-year-old boy when I was growing up was like covered in Axe body spray and fucking, like it's not that we were clean, but we were smelly, not in a good way, with Axe body spray. So
It
like,
always smelled like stank and Axe. Yeah.
like that was the thing, and that like I think that's normal. But yeah, like when it comes to girls, like he's gonna get more fixed up to try and impress a girl.
Here's the dope thing about Axe though. When that was really cool, I was poor, man, but a can of Axe was $3.
Oh yeah, no, it was great.
It was so easy because you could just join in and like you didn't have to have. Because I went through when like Abercrombie and Finch got real big, Aeropostale got real big, fucking American Eagle got real big, and if I like wasn't swooning a big girl, I wasn't getting any of that stuff. So the Axe body spray one, that was a good time because it was cheap to partake in that.
See, I was always counterculture, so like I didn't fall
Did you
into
do bod?
Well, no, like with that I did that, but like I literally never stepped foot.
Oh, you did like the DCs, the Vans,
yeah,
all
still
that stuff.
expensive
Fun.
anyways, but like it was like I didn't have to be wearing the in thing.
All right, so this is the advice I'm gonna give them. All right, start a fake Facebook. All right, of a 15-year-old girl.
Catfish this motherfucker.
And catfish your own son. And there you go. That's how you're gonna fix it. All right,
Then
you're gonna
break him.
You're gonna fuck him up mentally. Okay, but
He won't stink.
he will not stink. There you go. Look, that's how we do it right there. All right, so yeah, and with the repairs too. Like if you fuck it up, yeah, pay for it.
Well, in those moments, like with the linoleum and things like that, like he is becoming a young man and being able to, like, I don't know whether you're the type that is like handy, but like if he fucks it up, you help him like actually fix it back, and then he's gaining
Show him how
skills.
to do it, and then you're having like a father-son
Yes.
thing, which I never got. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
so,
yeah.
so have fun with that.
Rub that in.
God. Title: Mean Wife. Dear Mike and Dylan, the two people who hate drama. I need your help. Last weekend, I tried to convince my wife to let me fly from the great state of Cheese, Wisconsin, to see some people I listen to in a Denny's parking lot. Long story short, she said no, and I'm crazy. How can I convince her to let me do things like that, or am I stuck? Thanks, guys.
Divorce her.
If you go, like, imagine your wife comes to you and is like, hey, babe, I want to fly by myself a couple states away to
Do a meetup.
Yeah, meet up at this. You'd be like, what?
Behind a dumpster.
What? No, how about we not do that?
At not even an active Denny's. An empty.
Oh, the last story person said we need to start like a P.O. box so people could send us stuff, but
Somebody else had mentioned that on YouTube.
I'm so scared of getting a bomb, like a nail bomb.
I don't think people hate
Like
it
people
so
aren't
much.
smart enough to build the good bombs that just kill you instantly. It's like the nail bombs where I'm laying on the ground. I'm just like, you know how fucking, that's the nail bomb. The big explosion ones, you're like all passed out and shit. The nail bombs, just
missing a couple fingers.
Yeah, you're all fucked up. I'm real scared of that. I don't know, man. Have you tried cunnilingus? Because if you have not, episode 2, I'll teach you how to do it. Is that episode 2 or 3?
I think it was 2 or 3. I don't know.
It's one of those. Okay,
He doesn't go into great detail. Still Google for the legit tips.
It is pretty good. Dear Mike and Dylan, your mic stand looks like big black dildos. I love y'all and this podcast, but when you see it, you can't unsee it. I don't
think
What
they
dick
do,
have you
but,
seen that looks like that? That's a bent dick. And we got the cool little red things on there.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't agree.
Title: Sons on the Spectrum. Dear Mike and Dylan, my name is Dustin, and I'm a 32-year-old male. I have to say, Mike, we have a lot in common. We both have nonverbal autistic sons. Milo is age 3. He is rotten, but he is also very smart. You said your grandma grew up in West Virginia. I was just wondering what part. That's where I love and was born and raised. What's the best advice you can give about raising an autistic kid? Love the pod. Keep up the good shit. I have no clue what part of West Virginia. I was not like, city, county. We did try to look for like the maternal grandpa at one point, which had us in, I can't remember, because it was like it wasn't listed as like a county or a city. It was like a Providence then, which is crazy because it wasn't that long ago, 70 years ago. I don't fucking know what it was listed as, but it wasn't like a city or a state or a county. It's a weird name for it. Will I look that up after the podcast and like say it on another podcast? No, because I'll forget. But it was some part of West Virginia. Now, the advice for raising an autistic kid is just hold on tight, brother. Because, what I'm saying? They, at one point, they're going to be just sitting there being all cute and shit. And the next minute, they're throwing a PlayStation, which I have figured something out.
Did you?
Yes. If he goes to do something crazy and I just like fucking freak out about it, he'll never do it again. And I'm like, that's the coolest shit. Yep. He will not. He doesn't throw the PlayStation anymore. Anytime I've done that. So just jump scare your kid a lot. That's the best advice I can give you for a nonverbal autistic kid. And also anything that they watch or you try to teach them, do it in song form because they're way more receptive when it's in song form. You just got to tune to it.
I think that works with most kids. Like if you sing things to them, for some reason it's like, I can't remember. There's science to it, like about the different parts of your brain that turn on, but like they can't not pay attention during a song, and so it like actually turns on their brain to where they're like focusing on it because they're trying to decipher what you're singing, and so they actually get the message. And whereas like when you're talking to them, they're like,
man, this motherfucker boring, man. You ain't colorful. You're not flashing from scene to scene. You're not singing a song. I'm not going to pay attention to you. But yeah, that's just like I said, in song form. What's funny is he loves the Ghostbusters
all these are individual
song.
pages, so you should be able to just pick them up as is. None of them continue on. Remember, I print these.
Okay.
So
okay. But yeah, he loves the Ghostbusters theme song. Mm-hmm. So yesterday we were watching Stranger Things, and it's in season 2 where they dress up as Ghostbusters and it starts playing it. Yeah. So I get real happy because I know he fucks with Ghostbusters. He's just sitting over there just because he'll like when it starts with the drum beat, he's like meow meow meow. When he does the fucking drum, and he gets real fast during the drum part, and then when it gets into it, he finally starts doing it like the cutest thing you ever fucking saw. And he was just over there doing that, so I thought that was real fucking cute.
I was watching a reel last night, and I guess there's a whole podcast around it, but there's like the telepathy effect or something. They're saying that, crazy enough, and like I don't know how legit it is, but like technically if you were to have your son and then another nonverbal autistic son or like kid in 2 different rooms, and like one of them picks like a number and a color, like 99% of the time the other kid in the other room can pick the same number and color.
Way.
I have to look more into it, but yeah, it was supposedly there's like a whole podcast about it, like where they're not communicating with words and talking to each other and stuff like that, but like somehow like very, I don't know what to say, like consistently they can pick the same thing from farther away.
I'm about to look, he's about to be my little Alakazam, like my little Pokemon. He's gonna start being able to levitate shit. Bro, there's gonna be crazy shit. Like I'm gonna be like, look, use your mind and that gas station and just like lift up the cash register, bring it out.
Yeah, just bring all the dollars.
He's gonna be a little Pokemon. Cops are gonna like run out. I'm like, go. Youngest son, and he's just gonna walk out there, and I don't know. Fucking
there's gonna be like
Stranger Things.
100 other autistic kids coming to like circle around the car, so then
I have an army of them, and all I have to do is sing songs for them and give them cheese balls, bro. They fucking love cheese balls. That's all I do is feed them cheese balls, and we just go around and we terrorize the world with our psychic powers.
Why don't you go steal from Amazon instead of the local gas station? Because at least
local gas station is still owned by like a chain.
Well, the franchise owner, and then it's funnels money further up. But
I don't know. I just feel like Bezos has enough money. He's going to have his own little army of autistic children. So
he probably will be the first ones on that. Yeah.
Yeah. So that seems like that's like a fortress we would have to. We need to come up with a mobile game where you collect autistic children, different kinds and different races. Like they'll have, different powers based on like their culture and stuff like that. And then you build, and then you go attack other people's fortresses of autistic children.
Well, that's like the whole point behind like The Accountant was like a bunch of kids like on the spectrum, and they turned them into like superhumans.
Oh, well, we can do it. All right. How far are we into this?
50 minutes.
That's it?
Yep.
Damn. Advice for a fellow God damn it. Fuck. Advice for a fellow knuckle dragging autist. Dear Mike and Dylan, I didn't realize that you had a podcast until you were about a month into it. Doing my best to catch up. I'll keep this as short as I can because I expect this won't be my only submission, but I suck at being concise, so good luck. I'm looking for Mike's particular insight on this because he is open about having autism. I was diagnosed with ADHD as a child and again when I was an adult and I was in the Army. They letting us in the Army? Mm-hmm. Oh, shit.
Super soldiers.
Yeah, I guess we could get the telepathy. Yeah, fucking everybody up. God bless them. The Army's always on it, man. But I'm in the process of getting an autism evaluation set up at the moment. Knowing what I know now and knowing that my grandparents who raised me never got me tested for autism, all of the puzzle pieces fit. The diagnosis is simply a formality at this point. While I'm lucky to be the verbal kind of autist, I have struggled throughout my entire life with issues that very much present as autism. Frankly, a mistaken diagnosis of ADHD when you actually have autism is a tale as old as the autism diagnosis itself. I fucked that line up, but what they're saying is that like ADHD can be like a part of the spectrum that like masks the other shit with autism.
Well, yeah, they just say you have ADHD, but you're actually on the spectrum.
Now the issue I have, I'm in my late 20s and fucking I'm in my late 20s now, and my entire family is expecting me to have kids. Granted, I don't come from a good family, so I'm not so sure why they suddenly want interest in my life and whether or not I have children. I go years at a time without so much as a text, but I digress. I do want to have children with my wife, but I have struggled so much just to get by as an adult on my own and succeed, even in a marriage without children. I'm terrified of having kids because it might add too much stress to my marriage. I can't even manage my own mental illness. How am I supposed to handle a child, let alone the possibility of a child that also has a similar condition to mine? I know that I am going to try my hardest to be a good dad. I want to be the father figure that my dad never was, but I don't want to overcorrect and fuck my kids up from being too lenient and laissez-faire with how I choose to parent them. But I haven't been able to truly reacclimate to civilian life after the Army. I'm trying my hardest, but it still makes me feel unworthy of having children. I'm going to school to get my airframe and power plant license so that I can work as an aircraft mechanic with my wife. But the school is so hard for me, and I'm afraid of failing at that. It just makes me wonder what in the world I am possibly going to do if I have a child. Any advice for me, Mike, as a fellow useless retard? What about you, Dylan? Any outside perspective as someone who has not risen them up with the tism? Thanks in advance. Sorry for rambling. P.S. Mike, I'm proud of you for not reading that like you have the articulation skills of a brain damaged chimp. Kind of did. I did. I kind of did.
No, you did good.
Yeah, I fucked it up multiple times. If you don't want to have children, don't have children. And don't ever feel pressured into having children. That's the weirdest fucking thing that we do. Like me with my kids, I am always going to say, hey, don't have kids. If you want to, like, if they want to have kids, cool. But I'm just gonna be like, look, you can live your life. You can have a lot more fun without having children. Like, that's where the fun stops. How old did they say they were?
In their late 20s.
Yeah. I don't know if I read, I'm in my late 20s now. There's also a fallacy to which, like, where you have to have life figured out. I still don't have life figured out. I'm 32 years old. It's a thing that comes with time. You'll figure out if you want to have kids. If you do want to have kids, look, no one ever has children and they are ready to be a parent. That just does not fucking happen. You're going to learn as you go. And I think that's the beautiful thing about being a parent is that you don't know how to do it until you fucking do it. Like, you can read every book in the world about what to do, what not to do. It just comes honestly naturally. But yeah, man, just fucking, if you don't want to have kids, live your life, bro. And I don't fucking know, Dylan. Give him some good advice.
So he said that he does want to have kids. Like, and if you do, like Mike says, though, is like, you're never going to be ready. Like, you're never going to have all your ducks in a row. Like, ultimately, the biggest thing to tell you whether you're ready or not is the right person by your side. Like, if you had a kid with anybody other than Amy and they weren't able to put up with your stuff, you guys would be divorced and the kids would be separate homes.
Are you talking to me right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
But like,
Because he used Amy, I was just like looking at, I was like, wait.
that's my wife's
No,
name.
yeah, that's my wife's name. Is he also married to an Amy? Oh, we both got Amy's?
Wow, we are similar.
We are very similar.
But no.
Similar. These fucking words are hard.
But like what I'm saying is like if your wife is on board and you're on board, like you just have to decide when you're ready for it.
Don't do it. It's overrated, brother. Like look, I love my kids. If there's anything fun you want to do, you won't be able to because kids. Like it's a whole lot. It does add a difficulty notch in life.
See, I think the thing is like when you have kids, because like he's not a 19-year-old and you took that on at like 19.
Yeah.
And so you skipped, like, not to say like it didn't save your life, because it probably did. You were not around good people, doing shit things.
I could have died of a drug overdose, man. This could all be over. I could not be. Look, I'm tired of trying.
But like with my situation, I didn't have kids. Like I met my wife when I was 30, and then her daughter started coming around like after the divorce, like a year later. And so like I was late in life. I got to figure out who I was. I got to like date and go have fun and do all these things. Like you're in a point in your life in like your mid-20s that like if you're ready to settle down, like there is nothing. I have the complete antithesis of what your experience was. Like having a kid changed my life to make it have meaning and made it more fun, and like being able to like see her grow up and all these things. Like, and I know you feel that way too about your kids. It's just like you missed a lot of your youth because you had kids young, and so then you had to be in dad mode. You had to go, like, and but that's what straightened you up, and it actually probably was a blessing. But like, yes, there is a lot of stuff like where when I want to hang out and go do things with friends and everything, like I have to then mentally be like, well, I'm going to like skip out on my family for a night to do this. And like, it's okay if you're not, you just can't be selfish anymore. And like, if selfishness is important to you, if like what you're doing and everything like that is like very important to you, then yes, kids aren't the right fit. But if you can like see you and your wife as a team and see the likelihood of that playing out well, she's supportive, you're supportive, and you guys can ride that train together, having a kid is one of the most fulfilling things that I've done in my life. And I don't suggest it for everybody. Not everybody's meant for kids, and kids aren't meant for all parents. But in my situation, I met my wife and we were in a position where like I knew it was forever. Even if we fight and argue and bitch and moan, like we're going to be together. We'll figure it out together, whether we like each other in certain moments and get angry with each other in other moments. Like it's the long haul. And
my wife was manic from breaking up with the woman that she was with for 9 years. And then I was heavily on drugs, and, you know, she got pregnant and was like, oh, it's probably good we get married. Once again, I was on drugs, and then, you know what? It all worked out.
Yeah.
Sometimes the story of the meat is not as beautiful. No. Like, when I'm telling my grandkids that, they're going to be fucking, they're like, what the fuck? Well, also, good job, Grandpa. Like, a woman for 9 years, you think that's it right there? I'm like, yeah, but I stepped in.
Yeah.
Look, man.
Well, and it's all
so much man points for that.
Like, because there's definitely downsides to having kids. There's definitely things that you're like, man, this really is inconvenient. But then there's a ton of upsides, and it's what you focus on that is really going to paint that picture. And like, for the most part, all the time, Mike is like, you know, always kids focused. And so he might be giving his kids other advice, but like ultimately I think what you're trying to do is just be like, yeah, you don't have to do that. You can decide to do that, but like don't feel forced into whatever.
I am going to tell you something though. With the autism though, and having kids, you will put your kids before your spouse. I don't know why. It like to a unhealthy point.
Yeah, I don't. That's one of those hard things, like, because some people are like, you know, your wife first, and then some people are like your kids first.
That's so weird.
I
don't get the wife first. I will never get that.
Well, I look at her happiness as being like, we need to ride this out.
Yeah.
Like, we need to ride this out until the kids are gone, because we have this job that we have to do. And like, so as long as we're not fucking up these kids, like, but like, yes, if it comes down to it, I mean, I would say honestly, I'm probably more on focusing on the kids than the wife, and unfortunately that is the way life is sometimes. But like, you just can't completely neglect that. But then once they're gone, like hopefully you guys have made it through to the point where
Look,
you guys can.
bitches don't even be saying anything though. Like they will give no inkling to wanting to fucking hang out with you.
Yeah.
A kid will just be like, "Oh, do you want to do this, Dad?" And I'm like, "Oh man, that sounds fun." And then she just,
I thought we were.
"Oh, I'm glad. I can completely understand." And I know what that's translated to. Did you want to hang out? No. All right, well, I'm gonna hang out with the kids. Whatever. Bye, bitch. Like, I'm not sitting here gonna fight, fucking trying to read your mind. If you want to hang out, let's do something. The worst part is, I decided to play Elden Ring 2 nights ago. And Amy was like, I really wanted you to hang out with me.
Did you say that?
No. She said that to me. And I was just like, I've been sitting beside you for 2 hours. I'm just like rubbing the top of her leg while she's been on her phone watching TikToks. I was like, you've had your fun. I'm going to have mine. Also, why would you say nothing about it? Bro, I'm telling you what, the beep of a PlayStation gets a woman's brain firing. It's like the songs for kids where their brain starts working. The beep of a PlayStation will do that. But yeah,
when it turns on, it goes beep. Or
listen to the advice Dylan said. Probably don't listen to the advice I said, because I did have a vastly different introduction into being a father. I did it the irresponsible way, and thank God it turned out. Because normally, very, very outlier that people who have kids that young meeting that early would work out. But I do think that we are going to wrap it up for this episode of Mike and Dylan Hate Drama. You guys are going to get another episode this week. I said 2, but we just got so much fucking people are just, and if I don't give them terrible advice that Dylan then makes up for, what are we doing?
They're going to feel empty.
They're going to feel empty. Yeah. And then they might commit suicide, and that's blood on my hands. And I'd just rather not have blood on my hands. And I think I kind of ruined this intro, but I don't fucking leave it in there. I don't give a fuck. So it fucking happens. Look, if you enjoyed the podcast, make sure you rate us on whatever podcasting platform you are on. And check out laborllama.com, where we have 30% off for the podcast people.
MADHD 30.
I did my wave of my hand like that because I completely forgot what it was. And we will see you guys next time.
Share the podcast. Later, mayonnaise dick.
Also, you can submit your own if you want advice, or a story you want us to read at mikeanddylan.com, MikeandDylan.com. Fuck, there's too much promotional shit. I'll see you next time.
Later.